We're going to talk about lists and arrays now, and in your O3 variables directory, you're going to make a copy of the variables.pl file, and we'll call it lists.pl. And we'll go ahead and open that, and we'll talk about lists and arrays. A list is simply a list of values or variables, a list of things. And so we can say my at array equals, now an at sign, like a $sign specifies a scalar variable, an at sign specifies an array or a list variable. Then in parentheses, I can put a number of different values, 2, 3, 4, like that. And now I have an array that has 4 scalar values in it, and those values are numbers, and they're 1, 2, 3, and 4. A simple way to look at the values of an array is to use the join function. It's a built-in function. And so I can say message join, and I'll put a colon for the separator, and at array. And what this will do is it will display these values with a colon in between them. So I'll go ahead and I'll save, and I'll run, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 with colons in between them. These values in the list can be anything. I could put a string in here, put the word 2, and I can save that and run it, and you'll see we now have the word 2 in the middle there. And in fact, if I want to, I could assign this to a list of scalars instead of to an array. I could say my 1, $2, $3, $4. And so those are 4 scalars that are named 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I can say equals 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And then I can just print them out like normal variables. 1. And I'll just go ahead and copy and paste that 4 times and name them 2, 3, and 4. And so now I'm printing out those 4 variables one at a time, but you see I've assigned them all at once because I've simply assigned one list to another like that. And so we'll save and run, and we'll see that it prints them 1, 2, 3, 4 on the line like that, just as they are here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way and delete these. We have here our array, and the array has 4 values in it. If I want to just look at one of them, I can say $array with a subscript, and inside of that subscript I put a number. If I say subscript 1, I will get the second element. I'll get the one here that says 2 because these subscripts are 0 based. So 0 would be the first one, and 1 is this one, and 2 is that one, and 3 is that one. So $array subscripted to 1 like that will give me the second one, which says 2. And so there we have 2. So there's a couple of things to notice about this. One, of course, is the subscript is in square brackets like that, and that we do not use the at sign when we are subscripting an array. The reason for this is that what we are extracting from the array here is one scalar value. So the scalar indicator is the $sign. And so even though the array variable is an array variable and it was declared with the at sign, the $sign is used when we want to subscript and get one value out of it, using the subscript operator, the square brackets. So in this case, we've gotten the second value. We could, of course, get the first value with a 0. And we'll run that. And we see we get the number 1 there. Or, let's say we wanted to know how many elements there are in the array. I can say there. I get a little flummoxed by the way that Eclipse interprets my quote marks there. And it did it again. So I need to delete first and then, okay. There are, and I can say dot scalar array like that, elements in the array. And what this does, you'll notice the string concatenation operator there and there. So there are space, and then this will give us the number of elements in the array, the count of them, which in this case is 4, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in the array. So what scalar does, it's like a cast, if you know what casts are in other languages. What it does is it gives this array a scalar context. And in a scalar context, what this @array syntax returns is not the list of elements in the array, but the number of elements in the array. And this is just a little Perlism. And so in the scalar context, what you get from an array like this is the number of elements. And so this will say there are 4 elements in the array when we run it. And so we'll go ahead and save and run, and we get there are 4 elements in the array. So that's how you declare an array, that's how you subscript an array, and that's how you use an array and how you assign a list of values to an array. And if you're interested in how you can slice out combinations of values out of an array, I'm going to talk about that in the next movie.